Yo, what is good, guys? It's your boy Miklik. Welcome back to another Haikyuu Fly High video. And in today's video, I will be breaking down SP Bokuto as best as I can because his kit is just a little bit tricky. I mean, I had a little trouble understanding it. I had to ask one of my friends who played on a Taiwan server. So bless him. And the way he broke it down for me, I'm going to be breaking it down the same way. But the reason why I'm making an SP Bokuto video before SP Bokuto even comes out, because one, to let people know there's actually an SP Bokuto in the game and not just a UR Bokuto. And two, I think it'll be cool for people to understand his kit so they could prepare for him and maybe get certain units and certain dupes for the characters needed for SP Bokuto. But the lineup that is presented to you right now isn't an actual main one. I want you guys to think what could be an issue with this lineup and why there could be an alternative. Obviously, I'm going to explain what the issue is and how to actually fix it towards the end of the video. And hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Join the Discord if you need help. And let's get straight to the video. Just in case you guys don't know the basics of morale, I'll be going over them real quick. So first of all, 120 morale points gets you morale awakening. Every bot touch equals 6 morale points. Gaining a point gives you 10 morale points. Depending on the bond you have, it will give you a certain amount of morale points. So as you can see here, there's an image, +6 for any character touching the ball that's on your team, +10 for scoring, and we got +7 for the bond. And next, another way for morale is the cheer squad. And depending on the level, I was on an account that had a cheer squad maxed out. So the max I could get was +18 morale points. Maybe it's more, but that's how much I could get. And in my account, I haven't upgraded the cheer squad at all. So I only got +9 morale from the cheer. When you lose a point, you also gain +30 morale points. As you can see here, +30 morale points gained after we lost a point. And the +4 and +2 you see here is because the morale awakening is ready. I just haven't activated it yet. And no, if you haven't activated it, you don't actually get the plus morale points. It's just there, it does nothing. And then you have the circles here, meaning once you activate Team Morale Awakening, you have 8 touches until the Morale Awakening goes away. So that's about it for the morale system. And if I missed anything, let me know. But we're gonna head straight into Bokuto's skills. So first off, Bokuto's skill 1 is Excitement. His power hit is increased by 13%. And this is where things get interesting. All of the effects of Team Morale boost from other allies, except the cheer squad, are reduced by 100%. So what that means is every ball touch that you do, every gain a point that you did, any bond that you had, and every time you lose a point does not go into your morale awakening, except for cheer squad. So whatever the cheer squad morale gives you, you still keep that. And for every 10 morale boost reduced, we get 1 stack of the united effect. So what this means is that every single morale point that we get doesn't go into the morale awakening. It essentially goes straight to Bokuto. The 6 morale points you gain from touching the ball, the 10 morale points you gain from scoring, the morale points you get from the bonds, and the morale points you gain from losing a point all go straight to Bokuto stacks, and it needs to be 10. So 2 ball touches equals 12. That means you get 1 stack of Bokuto's unite effect. And the extra 2 carries over until it equals to 10, and then so on, so on, and so on. So as you can see, when we lose a point, that 30 doesn't go into Morale Awakening. It actually goes straight into Bokuto for his Unite effect. So he gets 3 stacks of the Unite effect, because 30 divided by 10 is 3. And also, any of your allies' skills that help you gain morale, it does not go into the Morale Awakening. It goes straight to Bokuto. So literally anything that gives morale goes straight to Bokuto, except for the cheer squad. Hopefully I made that clear. Let me know in the comments if you still have questions. And then for each stack of the united effect, the main perimeters of allied members increased by 0.16% up to 199 stacks. So that's actually the benefit of Bokuto taking out the morale. He at least gives something back, which is a perimeter increase to all allies. So the second part, when Bokuto is on the court, when the rally ends, we get +40 team morale. The only character that could give the morale awakening morale points is Bokuto himself. Anything in Bokuto's skills that give morale goes straight to the morale awakening. It doesn't go to his stacks. So keep that in mind. Anything in Bokuto's kit that gives morale doesn't go to the stacks. It goes to the morale awakening. But apart from that, there's no other way for your morale awakening to get morale. It gotta be Bokuto and the cheer squad. And as I said, this does not go into his stacks. But for this skill, he just gains 4 stacks of United Effect. But it's not from the 40 morale that went into the Morale Awakening. It's just separate, so don't get confused. And now they changed the effect for Morale Awakening when Bokuto is obviously on your team. The main perimeters of all members on the court increase by 20%. And last until allies have touched the ball 10 times. So it's talking about the 8 circles that we have left until the Morale Awakening disappears. So basically, we now have 10 circles until the Morale Awakening goes away. Essentially, we have 2 more touches we could do. His receive skill is just a basic receive skill. It gives him receive times 140%, and then he gains 3 stacks of the Unite effect. Don't worry about the translation. It's the same thing. Don't worry about it. Miracle Spike is his ultimate. He will perform a power hit with a power equal to power hit times 260%. And for each stack of the Unite effect, Bokuto's attack technique will increase by 0.75%, up to a maximum of 30% increase, and it will last until the ball goes over the net twice. Then we get into the more in-depth part that I hate, but trust me, it's actually easier when someone explains it to you. So Bokuto has this condition. When you enter Morale Awakening, so when you activate it, he turns into happy mode, or what you could say best condition, but I'm gonna call it happy mode, okay? When Bokuto uses his ultimate in happy mode, his power hit is increased by 1% for each united effect. So this is where all the morale points come in handy, because it's all stacked up. This is why he takes everyone's morale points. And this can increase up to 70%, and then the effect lasts until the ball goes over the net twice. Additionally, for each stack of United Effect, the power of his power hit increases by 1.5%. This can increase by 120%. This effect lasts until the ball goes over the net twice. So this is just another stat boost, but this is where it gets important. Whenever he uses the ultimate, he gains sad mode. And in sad mode, he cannot activate his ultimate skill. But when he's in sad mode, he gets a buff. His power hit increases by power hit times 30%. And after he uses the power hit, he gains 3 stacks of his United Effect. And his power hit is just his basic spike. But nonetheless, whenever he spikes in sad mode, he gains 3 stacks of United Effect. So Bokuto starts off in sad mode. He does not have his ult in the beginning of the game until Morale Awakening triggers. And to summarize this part real quick, whenever the Team Morale Awakening ends, the Morale Awakening instantly gets plus 20 morale. Doesn't go into Bokuto's stack. Once the Morale Awakening ends, you get 20 morale. And as I said in the beginning, any skill that adds morale in Bokuto's kit does not go into his stacks, but goes into the Morale Awakening. Whenever you activate the Morale Awakening, Bokuto loses sad mode and goes back to happy mode. So he's back where he can use his ultimate. And his skill res 2 and 4 is just basic stat increases. It's nothing actually surprising. He just gets his United Effect, and then it increases awareness by 0.4% up to maximum 15%, and it just increases power by awareness times 85%, up to 100% increases possible. And then for S4, it just gains 8 stacks of United Effect, and then when he's in best condition, each stack of the effect immunity increases power by 3%, and the maximum is 150% increase. And if you're wondering if you should dupe him up, most likely you're pay to win, or maybe you're just insanely lucky, it would probably be S4, because essentially you could get crit up to a maximum of 150% increase, and even though it might just be a little hard to get, you gain 8 stacks of Unity Effect when it ends, and nonetheless 150% is insane. So in scenarios, if you do end up getting it, well, I mean, you win. But is it needed? No. So going back to the lineup I showed in the beginning, now that you guys know Bokuto starts off the match with sad mode, meaning he's locked out of his ultimate, and the only way to use his ultimate is by entering the Team Morale Awakening in his happy mode, so that he can maximize all the stacks that he gained throughout the whole match, and then put that output towards scoring. But what's going to happen in the beginning of the match when you can't ult with him and he just has a basic attack? The only 2 people that can essentially cover for him is Korai's ultimate and Akashi Seterdump. But after that, you're out of juice. If that does happen, you obviously use Bokuto's basic spike, because you at least gain his United stacks, and that contributes towards whenever he reaches his Team Morale Awakening, but it's not optimal, and it's not going to maximize his complete value, mainly because of the opposite hitter here. I know that we got Fukuro on a team synergy, and we got very valuable team morale, plus receives and front row block increase by Kono, but it's recommended to run someone who at least does an extra spike ultimate, so I could cover for Bokuto, because Bokuto isn't going to bring much value other than his stacks with his basic spike. So what most people do is run Ushijima, but they don't run Ushijima with just his base. They run him with S2, and as we all know, S2, he could essentially back-to-back ultimate depending on the situation, and that's honestly what you need for Bokuto, because you don't want Bokuto basic spiking unless it's needed, but you have Ushijima's a very amazing ultimate that could essentially do another ultimate on top of it, meaning you will have time to generate Bokuto's awakening mode. So essentially the cycle will be something like Ushijima ults, and then when he gets his ult again, boom, he ults, and then you got Korai ult, and then you got Akashi Seterdump. And obviously depending on the team you're going against in the rallies, you might have to use Bokuto's basic attacks, so you could at least gain more stacks towards his awakening mode. Not completely needed, but nonetheless, now you have more people who could cover for Bokuto, so that you don't have to use Bokuto's basic spike. And you can still run this lineup even without the S2, but you're gonna have to maximize Bokuto's spikes so that you could gain more buffs. So basically the order could be Ushijima, Akashi, Korai, and then Bokuto. Doesn't have to be in that exact order. It just depends on the situation. Sometimes you won't even need Ushijima here if he's not on his S2. You probably go back to Kono here, but then you're gonna have to readjust your team to maybe replacing Korai with Aaron. He essentially has no cooldown on his ultimate, so you could keep spamming. Obviously, he'll run out quick, but if you have him, that's perfectly fine. He'll be subbed out instantly. If you have someone who could cover for him like instantly like Korai, that's fine. I don't think it's needed. You can still use the Shijima, but you have to rely on Bokuto Spike 2 so you can maximize your buffs. Hopefully this video helped you a little bit. I will explain and I will show more gameplay whenever I get the chance to. Maybe tomorrow, could be in 2 days. Who knows? I have to get ready for college, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section. Maybe I need to make stuff more clear, but make sure to join the Discord if you have any questions or anything. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.